It complex carbohydrate into glucose and fats into fatty acid and glycerol. The digested food is taken up by the wall of the intestine. The inner lining of the small intestine has numerous finger-like projections called villi, which increase the surface area for absorption. The villi are richly supplied with blood vessels, which take the absorbed food to each and every cell of the body, where it is utilized for obtaining energy, building up new tissues, and the repair of old tissues. The unabsorbed food is sent into the large intestine, where more villi absorb water from the material. The rest of the material is removed from the body via the anus. The exit of this waste material is regulated by the anal sphincter. Dental caries, more to know. Dental caries or tooth decay cause gradual softening of enamel and dentine. It begins when bacteria acting on sugars produce acid that soften or demineralize the enamel. Masses of bacterial cells together with food particles stick to the teeth to form dental plaque. Saliva cannot reach the tooth surface to neutralize the acid as plaque cover the teeth. Brushing the teeth after eating removes the plaque before the bacteria produces acids. If untreated, microorganisms may invade the pulp, causing inflammation and infection. अब यहाँ पे क्या है, रेस्पिरेशन. पिचकारी rubber tube, lime water tube, test tube containing lime water. Air being passed into lime water with a pichकारी syringe. Air being exhaled into lime water. Take some freshly prepared lime water in a test tube. Blow air through this lime water. Note how long it takes for the lime water to turn milky. Use a syringe or pichकारी to pass air through some fresh lime water taken in another test tube. Note how long it takes for this lime water to turn milky. What does this tell us about the amount of carbon dioxide in the air that we breathe out? Take some fruit juices or sugar solution and add some yeast to this. Take this mixture in a test tube fitted with a one-hole cork. Fit the cork with a band glass tube. Dip the free end of the glass tube into a test tube containing freshly prepared lime water. What change is observed in the lime water and how long does it take for this change to occur? What does this tell us about the products of fermentation? We have discussed nutrition in organisms in the last section. The food material taken in during the process of nutrition is used in cells to provide energy for various life processes. Diverse organisms do this in different ways. Some use oxygen to break down glucose completely into carbon dioxide and water. Some use other pathways that do not involve oxygen. In all cases, the first step is the breakdown of glucose, 6 carbon molecules into 3 carbon molecules called pyruvate. This process takes place in the cytoplasm. Further, the pyruvate may be converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide. This process takes place in yeast during fermentation. Since this process takes in the absence of air oxygen, it is called anaerobic respiration. The breakdown of pyruvate using oxygen takes place in the mitochondria, and this process breaks up the three carbon pyruvate molecules to give 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. The other product is water. Since the process takes place in the presence of air oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration. The release of energy in this aerobic process is a lot greater than in the anaerobic process. Sometimes when there is a lack of oxygen in our muscle cells, another pathway for the breakdown of pyruvate is taken. Here the pyruvate is converted into lactic acid, which is also a 3-carbon molecule, and this build up of lactic acid in our muscles during sudden activity causes cramps. 6-carbon molecule glucose in cytoplasm converted into pyruvate. 3-carbon molecules produce energy. Absence of oxygen in yeast. Ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. 2-carbon molecule. Lack of oxygen in our muscle cells. Acid. Lactic acid plus energy. 3 carbon molecules and presence of oxygen in mitochondria. Carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Breakdown of glucose by various pathways. The energy released during cellular respiration is immediately used to synthesize a molecule called ATP, which is used to fuel all other activities in the cells. In the processes, ATP is broken down, giving rise to a fixed amount of energy, which can drive the endothermic respiration taking place in the cells. Endothermic respiration taking place in the cells. ATP. ATP is the energy currency for most cellular processes. The energy released during the process of respiration is used to make an ATP molecule from ADP and inorganic phosphate. ADP plus phosphate. Energy given ADP add P and equal to ATP. Endothermic process in the cell then use this ATP to drive the reaction. When the terminal phosphate linkage in ATP is broken using water, the energy equivalent to 30.5 kilojoule mole per mole is released. Think of how a battery can provide energy for many different kinds of uses. It can be used to obtain mechanical energy, light energy, electrical energy, and so on. Similarly, ATP can be used in the cells for the contraction of muscles, proteins, synthesis, conduction of nervous impulses, and many other activities. Since all the aerobic respiration pathway depends on oxygen, aerobic organisms need to ensure that there is sufficient intake of oxygen. We have seen that plants exchange gases through stomata, and the large intercellular spaces ensure that all cells are in contact with air. Carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged by diffusion. Here, they can go into cells or away from them and out into the air. The direction of diffusion depends upon the environmental conditions and the requirement of the plants. At night, when there is no photosynthesis occurring, CO2 elimination is the major exchange activity going on. During the day, CO2 generated during respiration is used for the photosynthesis, hence there is no CO2 release. Instead, oxygen release is the major event. By this time, animals have evolved different organs for the uptake of oxygen from the environment and for getting rid of the carbon dioxide produced. Terrestrial animals can breathe the oxygen in the atmosphere, but Animals that live in water need to use the oxygen dissolved in water.